I think that all the composers are very much interested about the youth of people, the age when we are youth. Why? Because we are somehow like sponges, you know? And we see the world in a completely different way. So the same it's the same for Revueltas, for las 5 canciones para niños. For Mahler as well, this idea of looking at the world in a very genuine way, in a very clean way, is something that always is. I don't think it's a matter that interests only composers like Mahler or Revueltas. We are also very much interested. So the more we go ahead, the more we think that we should behave like young people, like children, like youth, you know, because they are not complicated. They are very easy. They are what they are. They don't have prejudices. They don't have any kind of ego that we have, unfortunately. So, well, of course, it's not by chance that we put Revueltas and Mahler. As I already said last time, I think there is a close relation in the way the two composers write. And actually, this week, the way the 5 canciones is written with the last movement of the Mahler symphony, which he at the beginning wanted to be sung by a white voice, let's say, you know. They are very much related in terms of timbre. I don't think they are related in terms of what is written, because they say different things, but still the way, the language, the musical language is really very similar. I don't know whether you agree with this, but I really agree that this language of this week between Revueltas and Mahler is even closer than what it was with Caminos and Mahler 5th. This because also Mahler 4th is a very unusual symphony from Mahler. Well, it's the last one of the Wunderhorn series, so the first 4, that with the exception of the first half of vocal parts in the symphonies. And then of course, with the 4th, it's like he builds a wall after which he starts to compose in a more musical way, more instrumental way, in a more instrumental way. And the language is just pure music, whereas in this symphony, and especially in the 4th, which is the more complicated of the first 4 symphonies, from my point of view, we really have the vocal part, which is very, very important. It's quite strange that he didn't put any explanation, although he did at the beginning, then he took them away, because he knew that the force of the words is really big. So he wanted to let the music to speak, but still the idea, this conflictual way of writing between eternity, life on the earth, life after the celestial life, we say. This eternal conflict against these two characters, these two paradigmas, I don't know how to explain them. It goes around within the second, the third, and the fourth symphony, but especially the fourth symphony. Now, the fourth symphony, I think, is very much complicated because it's a little bit the chamber music symphony. There are a lot of details. He writes in a completely different way from what happened from the fifth ahead. Because we don't have groups of instruments playing together. For instance, we don't have all the strings playing together and all the winds answering or playing together with the strings. But within the sections of strings and winds, we have many people talking, many parts arguing or discussing together. And many times when there is mezzo forte in one part, you have pianissimo in another part, but it's it's not without criteria. You know, he really knew exactly what he wanted, and of course, in order also to let this way of speaking going ahead, I think he didn't want to use on purpose a big orchestra. We don't have trombones, we don't have tuba, we don't have double instruments. And the way it's written, the beginning of the theme of the first movement, which has been taken from the Schubert sonata in E flat major, the beginning of the theme of the first violin, it sounds like a classic piece. But it's very strange that the symphony of Movement starts with the sonaglios, no? Which it's like a little bit grotesque also. So this explains very much the conflictual personality of Mahler. That he, although he didn't want to sometimes, but he put in music all this eternal question that he had between existence, being on the earth, and what was going on after, and all these things. And so this symphony, it is really complicated. It's very clear from one point, but at the same time, to do exactly what is written, to make all the parts to come out in the way he intended, is really difficult. And it's very unusual to be Mahler, but because it's unusual, at the same time, it's very special, I think. Sí, como siempre, as always, I really hope that a lot of people will come to the general rehearsal, the off general rehearsal, because it's a moment to share ideas, to listen what happens with an orchestra and conductor before the concert, what also changes from the rehearsal to the orchestra, to the concert, if the people would like to come at the rehearsal and at the concert. And of course, after, we have time to talk about, to make questions, to answer, try to answer properly.
Okay.
Please come.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.